What is the difference between eutrophication and olefication? So if we look at this diagram here, which one do you think is eutrophication? Yep, if you said this one, you would be correct. And which one do you think is olefication? Yep, it's a natural healthy one. So if we look at the healthy system to begin with, you can see that there's a lot of living organisms, there's oxygen within the water, there's low, let me write my L here, low amount of nutrients, and you have vegetation down at the bottom with invertebrates as well. And sunlight is able to get deep within the water. But when you have eutrophication, caused by a runoff of different types of nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, which are limiting in aquatic ecosystems, you get a lot of algae growth to begin with at the top. And as they live and die like this enrichment process, bacteria thrives. As bacteria thrives, they suck all the oxygen out of the water. So there's no oxygen in there. So who's not going to live if there's no oxygen? Fish and invertebrates. And if there's these guys dying and decomposing, the water's going to have a lot of suspended particles. So what's not going to be able to get down to the bottom? Yep, no sunlight. So light is not going to be able to get through. So who's not going to make it at the bottom? Yeah, no plants. You eventually build up this layer of sediment. This starts to fill in more and more down at the bottom. Fill in, and these lakes tend to get more shallow and filled with this nasty mucky stuff at the bottom. And a lot of Florida lakes are like that. You have the algae at the top. So olefication, clean, lots of oxygen, great healthy systems. Eutrophication, not a healthy system, caused by nutrient runoff. Then we have point source and non-point source pollution. What do you think point source pollution is? Yeah, you can point to it. It's something that you can easily say, here it is, it's coming from there. Yeah, point source, it's got a direct thing like a sewage drainage pipe or a smokestack from a power plant. That would be a point source type of pollutants. But non-point source is an indirect. So this is something that you really can't pinpoint where it's coming from, but you can say, I think it's coming from there. Because you have runoff. So you could have runoff from agricultural, animal feedlots with their sewage. Say you get a flood here, that's going to be run into our waterways. Homes from transportation, cities, and then urban development as well. So this is non-point source pollution, forms of runoff, like pesticides and fertilizers. Groundwater pollution. And what's groundwater good for? For us, it's good for drinking. So a lot of our water comes from drinking. And non-point source pollution and point source pollution can cause groundwater pollution, like pesticides and fertilizers and organic compounds getting in. Really coming from landfills, septic tanks, golf courses, and agriculture. So if you look at this diagram down here, this is pretty good. You can see some different ways that we've got groundwater down here that it can get polluted. So fertilizers and pesticides. What do you think this is with one of these? If you said golf course, this could be your golf course. Golf course. And what do you think this thing is? Yep, it's a landfill. So landfills, some of that stuff that's in there can mix with water and then drain through, and that's called, when it leaches through, it's called leachate. You can have septic tanks, leachate as well. Different types of drainage systems from car transportation could leak oils and solvents into the water, and lead as well. A solvent in oil that we're going to see an example here is MTBE. It's got a long name. And this is added to gasoline to reduce tailpipe emission. And it is a carcinogen. So that can get into water by drainage from roadways. So it can be a problem. Different types of groundwater pollution. Different ways that we can improve. What are some ways that you think of that we could try to improve or clean up our water? Well, the two that we use to purify the water work, and they're cheap, but they also have consequences as well. Like chlorine, adding chlorine, it will help kill diseases in the water, but the problem is that as it builds up in humans over long periods of time, it can cause cancer, birth defects, and miscarriages in pregnant women. Or fluoride. Where have you heard of fluoride before? What's fluoride in? It's in toothpaste. And this is the only drug that is forced as a mass medication to the population with no control of the dose. So they put fluoride in the water to prevent different types of mouth problems like tooth decay. And a buildup of it can cause cancer, kidney disease, and different types of birth defects. It can also cause different types of brain damage. 99% of fluoride added to water goes down the drain into the environment.